Hi, I'm Richie.
I'm Jeremy.
And this is Week in Review with Richie and...
Jeremy.
And this is what episode are we on, Jeremy?
Review. This is 16.
Episode 16.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should have like a cake and candles. It's like our Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Wow. Are you going to do this for every episode?
Oh, we should have had a quinceañera
Right.
and a bar mitzvah for our 13th.
Wow.
Oh,
Well, first off,
wait,
tonight-
Wait. What are you wearing over there?
I'm wearing a shirt.
What does that shirt say?
It says Dad. It says the toughest job you'll ever love. My wife bought me this.
I don't know now if I want to pick on it or not because I
No.
don't want
right,
Tana,
right. You don't want that
Tana to
wrath.
jump in my butt.
And
but that should be like grandpa.
yeah, I'm a grandpa.
That's right. It should be like it's the oldest job there is because I'm old, but there's still things older than me. Like
I'm a
dirt
parent for
and
30
rocks.
years. 30 years.
You've been a parent for 30
years.
Wow.
30 years.
Wow.
30
You
years.
know, Jeremy is 55 years old.
No, that's not true.
But there still are things that are older than him. Dirt, rocks, dinosaur bones.
Anyway.
What's going on this week, Jeremy?
Well, we got to say bonjour to one of our best followers and our weekly
All right,
guy.
before we get into saying bonjour to our...
Actually, I was wrong. Wait a minute. What's the time period for France right now?
Wait. Before we get to the France, parlez-vous français, mi amour. No, before we get to all of that, I'm going to put a contest out there, $50 Visa gift card. We need somebody to help us name Colin Hedges. He's like our very own Larry Bud Melman that used to be on the Late Show with David Letterman.
Kind of like our mascot.
Yeah. So we need a nickname for him, something like Larry Bud Melman. We need a nickname for Colin Hedges. So comment at the bottom in the comments of this on Facebook. Help us come up with a nickname for him. If we choose your nickname, you will win a $50 Visa gift card. Comment. Nickname. It's got to be something good for Colin Hedges. All right. Now.
Mercé, right?
Mercé. Oui.
Oui. Yeah.
All right, so what's
in
going on in
France.
Paris? What's going on in France?
He's in France.
Colin's in France?
He's in France. He had a
What?
picture of him on the Eiffel Tower. I'll pop it up right here. Boop.
On the Eiffel Tower or in front of the Eiffel Tower?
In front of the Eiffel Tower.
I heard he's wearing a Richie's New York Corner Deli t-shirt.
Yeah. I'm going to edit that out.
Have fun over there, Colin.
Yep. They eat crepes over there. Crepes. Do you ever make crepes? You're
Yes.
like a cook,
Crepes.
right?
Yes, it's a French thing. I went to school for French pastries.
Yeah, crepes.
Yes, crepes
How do you make them?
on the stove.
Yeah, because they're like thin pancakes, right? That's all they are,
They're
right?
not pancakes, but they are very thin. Yes.
Yeah. What do you use? Pancake mix for them?
Oh my. Anyway, moving along. What's going on this week?
So listen, this is a really cool story. So over at Wright State University, over in Dayton, okay, they just got a $2.5 million federal grant.
2.5 million?
Million with an M. For Dayton street medicine. And this is the first of its ever kind.
Street medicine.
Street medicine.
Are they going to be dealing drugs?
No. It's a direct outreach program that reaches directly. It takes away from the brick and mortar type of hospital, and it goes right out into the streets and takes care of people that are homeless right out there on the street and stuff like that. Make sure they get their checkups and talking to them about different things and stuff like that, making sure that their needs are met.
So it's sort of like a medical outreach program.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. That's interesting. Is this like the first? I'm sure that this has been done before, no?
No. This is the first time it launched.
In the whole United States of America?
This program launched in 2025, and they've already reached like 500 people.
In Dayton or in other places?
In Dayton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder how that's going.
Yeah. Obviously, they're thinking that this is a right way to do things because they got big more money on it.
Do they have a big homeless population in
I think
Dayton?
everybody's dealing with homeless population.
I would say that they
Or
are.
unhoused, right? It's unhoused because homeless is the wrong word. And the reason why people use unhoused now isn't because we're trying to get away from the homeless word. I think it's because homeless doesn't fully define what people are. Because there's people out there that are couch surfing on aunt and uncle's houses, or living with their parents, or living in their cars, or living in hotel to hotel. You know, so they're not necessarily, they
technically still are homeless,
yeah,
but not in the way that you would consider when you use the word homeless.
yeah, I just think they're trying to redefine the word so people understand what actually is the crisis that they have.
Yeah, I've had people
you know?
couch surf at my place before.
Sure. That's how I got here to Ohio. I couch surfed at my cousin's place. Mm-hmm.
Remember, he's really Canadian.
Yep.
It's where he was born.
That's where I was born.
Yeah, that's awesome, Dayton. Keep up the good work.
I think that's kind of cool.
It
You know,
is.
I mean, just taking it right to them and just talking to them right there. Because sometimes people just don't go in for care, you know?
Right.
I think that's kind of
yeah.
cool.
So, yeah, especially when you're out on the streets like that, you definitely probably don't go in for care unless it's an emergency of some sort.
Right.
And it's probably good that some people get some care before then.
Right.
That's awesome. Maybe some more cities should look into doing that.
Yeah. And then on the other side of that,
Oh, geez, where are we going? We're going left?
Attorney General Dave Yost, he put an emergency court action going on for a catastrophe wastewater treatment failure that's been basically ignored for like 5 months. Like the wastewater people quit.
Wait,
the
where's this
council quit.
Where's this?
It's up there in Harrisville Village Council, Harrisburg Village.
Harrisburg Village.
It's like east. It's like southeast Ohio.
So their council quit?
So their council quit, completely quit. The mayor doesn't live in the town. And like all of the people, kind of a majority of the people of the town are just up and quit. It's a small town. It's like 400 people.
So what's going on with the wastewater?
What the wastewater has basically been unchecked for like 5 months, and it's literally dumping sewage, like raw sewage, into the lake,
Like last
the
night's
stream
dinner?
and stuff, like all that stuff. Yeah, and so so Dave Yost put emergency order out there to kind of get them to figure it out and kind of step in. But the EPA is probably going to have to step in and just like get this figured out because it's really, really bad.
What is going on with Ohio and these wastewater treatment plants and whatnot that are falling behind and not taken care of? What is going on here, Ohio?
I think it's just trying to keep up with infrastructure. Infrastructure is expensive, you know? I mean, Asheville's working with the same thing. They got the oldest water treatment plant
Well, that's
in the
because
state.
they don't have a plan, it sounds like, to constantly maintain and do things. They spend money elsewhere.
Well, what
where
happened
they
in
need to
Asheville
keep it.
is their water bills are actually fairly low there. They haven't really kept up with, like, you know, those small implements to kind of,
That's what sounds
and that's
like.
kind of what happened. They kind of kicked the can down the road, and that's what happened there. You know, because Circleville just did it, but they explained that why they did it was because they have to, you know, look at PFAS. They, you know, removing PFAS from your water,
Which are forever chemicals.
Yeah, forever chemicals.
Right.
And a lot of those plants and stuff like that, they age. They just age, just like everything else. They have to upgrade them.
Right, but
when you upgrade them, they're $35 million for small ones like Asheville, but Circleville's is more than 50.
But if you're putting X number of dollars aside for those things from now to when you have to change them, you should be able to save some money instead of going, oh no, now we need to come up with $20 million. Where are we going to come up with $20 million? I guess citizens, we're going to need to raise your taxes and raise your bills because we didn't handle our books properly as a city, which a city should run like a business and handle their books properly.
A lot of these are villages, not
and do
cities,
this.
for the record.
But regardless of the fact, running a city or a village is still it's like running a business. So you just can't, just because you have money in your coffins doesn't mean you just spend it on other things. You need to allocate it and save it for the things that need fixed down the line instead of always turning to your citizens and saying, hey, we need money, we're going to do a levy or we're going to raise your taxes or raise your bills.
But, you know, some of these
Tax
council people
it's
have
like
their...
taxing people out of their houses.
Right. But some of these council people, they don't know exactly how to do these budgets and exactly how to, because they get voted in.
Well,
They have a couple of years.
Maybe that's something that cities should look at. And maybe there should be something eventually out there where it says, you want to run for a public office, you should have some sort of criteria.
Right. But I mean, a lot of these council members and stuff, you hear in Circleville, there's a lot of council members that run unopposed every year because necessarily not everybody wants to do the job. Like I see so many times online that people are like, oh, we're just going to vote them out. And I'm like,
who's going to take this place?
Who's going to take their place? Because a lot of people don't want the job because, a lot of times council people, I think the council people over in Circleville, I think they're the most paid ones in Pickaway County. And I think they make like $3,000 or $4,000 a year.
I think it's a little bit more than that. I don't want to say it's like 5 to 6.
Right, but again, that's not very much.
It's not.
Not for the responsibility you have to kind of research things, make decisions that, most likely you're going to get hated for because you have to make hard decisions.
But that's just the thing. Some of them don't want to make hard decisions because they want to tiptoe and pass the buck and let's vote on this in 6 months instead of now.
Are you talking about the marijuana?
I am talking about the marijuana thing. Because they're afraid. Maybe they're afraid they're gonna get lip from the people they go to church with, or their grandparents, or their mothers, or whatever. Just don't want to vote on things because they're afraid they're gonna hit people's mouths. Mm-hmm. I think that if you take a public office, and this is just my personal opinion, if you take a public office, you got to deal with what comes with it. Stand your ground, draw a line in the sand, and move forward, and stop worrying about because you're not gonna make everybody happy.
I think it just takes a lot of time. You get into office, you're new in office. It takes a lot of time to kind of understand exactly how it works and what to do and, how to make change because it's really hard.
But why would you wait till you get into office to understand? Why wouldn't you? If you're going to put your name in the ballot and fill the paperwork, you should be learning.
And I rarely agree with you.
This is true. It's going to snow tomorrow, but you should if you're gonna submit your paperwork to the Board of Elections to run.
As long as it doesn't rain.
For a primary.
I don't care if it snows.
For a primary, well, I don't know. It's Ohio. It's going to rain. If you're going to enter for a primary or for the general election, you're going to submit any paperwork. You have all this time in between them to learn. You should be coming into whatever position you are, knowing what you need to know and everything. Not waiting to day one after you get sworn in to then try to catch up to speed.
Richie, you're running a little bit of office, don't you?
No, I don't. I'm not a political person, and I will never be in office.
But you run a couple of groups.
I'm on a volunteer board. I don't run nothing.
But you run it. You're like the head guy, right?
No. I'm just. I sit as a chairman for one of them, but it's not. It's a board. So there's multiple people on it.
I was right.
It's a collective.
You feel like you run it well?
I feel like the board does a good job.
Okay.
You notice how I diverted from?
I know what you did.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's move on. What
are we moving to? What else we got?
I'll let you divert. It's fine.
What else we got?
Okay. No, a big news story that came out this week was Lyme disease and ticks.
Ticks. Are these the ones the government has dropped down on everybody?
No.
How do you know? How do you know the government didn't drop them? That's the news reports.
Every year when we get a lot of rain
the farms, that there's a whole bunch of ticks.
All this situation in the spring, we get a lot of ticks and we get Lyme disease. But this year they say it's especially bad. So watch your dogs. Look for the telltale signs of Lyme disease, stuff like that. If you're out hiking, make sure that you're spraying with some bug spray and stuff on your legs, things like that, and make sure you wear long pants and so you can. I know they can't even see my legs. So I'm reaching down to them. And make sure you're covering your legs and stuff. So it's kind of a big deal.
Make sure you have somebody check if it ticks afterwards.
Yeah,
even if they don't want to.
Yeah,
and make it awkward.
Yeah, one of the big signs of something like that is what they call a bullseye rash that you get from Lyme disease. So,
or if somebody shoots you with a BB gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you get Lyme disease, it's like the flu, except for you get, big extreme fatigue, joint pain, things like that.
Have you had Lyme disease before?
I have not.
No.
Not that I know of, but sometimes.
Have you ever been tested for it?
No.
Oh.
That's why I said I don't know.
Have you ever been bitten by a tick?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. You gotta, and it's hard because when they burrow in, you gotta do like a special trick to get their heads out because they bury their heads in your skin. It's kind of gross.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah. Yep, they're kind of they're some nasty little bugs.
What else we got going on besides the government dropping ticks on people?
Governor DeWine, I like being political this week.
Oh, jeez.
Governor DeWine.
I think you do this just because you like to know I go on rants because I don't claim a political party.
I know you're not a political guy, but
Not a political
but
guy.
I
I
am.
you are, but I don't. You know.
Anyway, Governor DeWine.
What does Governor DeWine do now?
You know,
how many days does he have left?
He got like 250.
250 days.
And
okay.
you know, this is the end of his
tenure.
Yeah. So, you know, he's going out off on some rants and stuff and talking about finishing up some of the things that he started and some of the things he regrets.
What does he regret?
So one of the big things that he regrets and stuff was legalizing sports betting.
Why did the mob give him a hard time because he took away their money?
Well, he said that and it's been, you know, he legalized that in 2021 and it kind of started working in 2023. And he says he regrets it because players get a hard time online if they mess up and stuff because people put a lot of money on the games and stuff. You know, and there's been a little bit of corruption when it comes to people throwing games and stuff like that. There's been some talk of that. You know, it's just it takes the fun out of sports.
He should have left it to the mob and let them do the sports betting.
So, you know, Ohio is now looking at like trying to claw back a little bit of that and change the laws a little bit.
We give it and then we take it away?
Right, I guess.
Here you go, have fun. Never mind, you can't do this no more. You're not being responsible enough.
So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get it for this. I'm gonna get it for this.
From who?
Okay, from everybody out there.
Oh, jeez.
So
pay attention out there, world.
So the things I like about DeWine,
okay,
you know, because a lot of people call DeWine, you know, that he's kind of.
I don't know much about DeWine and his politics. Once again, not a political person.
You know, he's a Republican, but some people say he's kind of on the fence. You know, but what I like about DeWine and what I've always respected about DeWine is that he's always looked after kids.
Okay.
And I respect that.
Is he a babysitter?
Being a foster parent myself, he's got like 26 grandchildren.
Oh, does he really?
But what I've always respected about DeWine is his strong support of foster children, foster care, and children in general. You know, some of the cool things that he's done. You know, he did the Dolly Parton books. I don't know if you know anything about the Dolly Parton initiative. So if you sign up for the Dolly Parton initiative, you actually get sent books in the mail. I actually get sent books in the mail for my foster kiddos that are Dolly Parton from the state. And they're just brand new books. I get one every month, and you know they're they're sealed, and you unwrap them, and you gotta get yourself a book from different artists and stuff. Really cool thing.
Children's books.
Children's books.
Is that why your vocabulary's gotten better?
It is. It is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Reading those children's books. Those adult literatures are too much for you, weren't they?
Yep. So he signed the Ohio C into law too, which was an initiative where they went into schools and give kids that don't get eye exams and stuff outside of school, eye exams in school and stuff like that to check and make sure they're for their kids, and it's all free.
They didn't do that here in Ohio?
No.
Eye exams?
No.
Hearing?
No. They did. I think they did hearing, but not eye.
Because we did eyes in hearing in elementary school in New York and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 80s. What else we got going on? Wasn't there something happening in Chillicothe?
Yeah. There's a cool thing happening in Chillicothe when it comes to graffiti.
Graffiti? Are we going to legalize it?
So Chillicothe Council just passed the second reading of this really cool story of the new public I'm going to do my things. Graffiti wall. So there's this guy, local artist named Landon Moonstar. I love that. Moonstar. What a great last name. Moonstar.
Why do you got to do it like you're a cow?
Oh.
Moonstar.
Moonstar. That's cool. But anyway, he is pushing on the council, and this is in the skate park area down there in Yokotanji Park. And he wants to do this massive graffiti art. And he wants to bring in graffiti artists and do this amazing graffiti art. And he says that graffiti artists out there, your other artists, they don't come and they don't tag that stuff up like they do murals and stuff like that. They don't tag murals and stuff because it's against their code. Do you know anything about that?
I do. I used to do graffiti when I was younger.
Yeah, you look like the type.
I still have my black books and pictures and whatnot. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. On trains and walls and rooftops along train lines and yep. There is a code. It all depends on what and different things, but yes, there is a code.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to get into the code, but there is a code.
There's a code.
There's a code.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I mean, I believe that there should be more projects like that. Areas where art can be put because there's graffiti is art. If you're doing beautiful murals and pieces and caricatures and whatnot instead of scribbles and throw ups, then things are beautiful. I mean, I just sit at the train stop at the train, and you can see some really intricate wall styles and letterings and
I
colors
agree.
work.
I agree.
A lot of talented people.
And I agree with that. I love some of the graffiti they put out there, and like you said, on side of trains, I've noticed that. But the problem is do it where it's legal.
Well, that's just the thing is it's not legal. That's just the thing. It's not legal. So, but if you want to watch a good documentary about the history of graffiti and the culture and whatnot, in 1980s, two photographers got together and did a documentary called Style Wars. You can find the full thing on YouTube. It follows graffiti and it follows the beginning of hip hop and breakdancing and whatnot. It's a great documentary. It came out in the 80s. Follows writers like Scheme, legends like Scheme, Scene, Doom, and some of the great legends. Futura, who was a female writer. Lee. There was art galleries that opened up in the late 80s with graffiti and whatnot. And they're still to this day some of these legends from the old school writers back in the 80s are still writing today, which is and just to see how their careers and their lives have gone. But if you want to check out some history of it, Style Wars, great documentary.
For the record, I don't condone destroying other people's property, though. Paint it on your own barn. Paint it on your own garage.
What if you don't have a barn?
I didn't say it. Paint it on your own barn, I said.
It's expression.
That's fine. Express it on your own
but there's
stuff.
no place legal to do it.
You shouldn't do it on somebody else's property.
But you can't do it on your own. I can't take a can of spray paint and go do a piece and do a nice graffiti on the side of my building because the city will say, "Did you get a permit for that?"
It's funny.
So where can you do it?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Exactly. But you can't do it on other people. You can't damage other people's property.
You call it damage? Other people call it art.
It's damage if somebody doesn't want it.
But what about Banksy?
It doesn't matter. If people don't want it, if somebody says it's okay, then it's okay. But you can't damage other people's property. Period.
Okay.
It's not the right thing. It's not societal.
I'm not disagreeing with you or agreeing with you. I'm just having a conversation here.
I disagree with you. So
I mean, I'm gonna take my marker out and write my name on your car later.
Right, you're damaging my property. That's not right.
But I just autographed it for you.
No, you didn't.
Now it's worth more.
No, it's not.
Or less.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. Anyway, health officials in Ross County have warned about a bat that was tested positive for rabies.
A bat was tested positive for rabies?
A bat was tested positive for rabies, and it was involved with 2 dogs, and now the dogs are being tested to see if they contracted the rabies from the bat.
How do you know that the bat didn't contract the rabies from the
dogs?
Because
the bat was tested positive for rabies. The dogs were just tested.
And did the dogs test positive?
So, anyway.
Did the dogs test positive?
They're being tested.
So we don't know who gave it to who?
Yeah, sure.
Could have been from the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Those rabid dogs. Watch out for those rabid dogs. That's why you give dogs rabies shots. You don't hear them going give them bats rabies shots. You're going to give them dogs rabies shots.
Oh. So anyway, if there's one, there's usually more than one. So, making sure you pay attention to your dog and stuff like that. A lot of times dogs and cats catch rabies more than people do.
And raccoons and squirrels.
But, bats are common in the area and stuff like that, especially in the...
And you can't kill them because they're endangered.
And bats are great animals.
Are they?
Yeah, they eat the
As
mosquitoes.
they give rabies.
They eat the mosquito. Well, but not all of them. But they eat.
Spiders eat mosquitoes too.
Yeah, and people kill those too.
And you can lose your leg from a spider. If you get bitten by a brown recluse.
You'll lose a leg if you graffiti my
Recluse?
car.
Was that a threat?
No.
Did you just threaten me on camera?
You know what else DeWine?
Back to him?
Yeah,
Oh,
you know what
okay.
else DeWine did?
Back to
He
DeWine.
he took away cell phones to kids in school.
He took what?
Cell phones away from kids in school.
Well, because he didn't want nobody calling nobody.
Was that it, or just kids not paying attention in school?
I didn't have a cell phone in school and I didn't pay attention.
Right,
so I
because
don't know.
you grew up in the 80s. They didn't even have cell phones. They didn't have beepers.
Beepers were in the 90s.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You grew up in the 80s because you're 50.
I got my first cell phone in 94, 93, 94.
Yeah, I miss that whole era.
Of
'Cause
93,
I lived in
94?
the trees.
Because what?
'Cause I lived in the trees. We didn't have
You
cell
lived in a
phones
tree?
and beepers and stuff like that where I grew up.
You lived in a tree?
No.
Were you
I-
technically homeless?
No, but I
Was it a
lived.
tree house? Would that make it a home?
No.
Once again, he's from Canada.
Yeah.
He was born in Canada, but he lived in Maine.
Yep. And we didn't have that stuff.
He walked
We
to
didn't
school
have cable.
uphill both ways.
Yep. Yep. It was pretty crazy.
Nobody really had cable back then. I didn't have cable back then, and I lived in New York.
When did you get cable?
Cable?
Mm-hmm.
Late 90s.
Late 90s.
We had an antenna at one point in the early 90s. We had an antenna on the roof that we were able to get like HBO and MTV and something else.
Growing up, how many TV channels did you have?
2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, and PBS 13.
So that was like what, a dozen channels?
Less.
Okay.
Let's do this again. 2, 4, 5, 7,
Mm-hmm.
9,
Mm-hmm.
11, and 13, which is PBS. So 7 channels. 7 channels growing up.
I had one channel.
You should have got a TV with a
No,
dial
we
on
had the
it.
rabbit ears and everything.
Maybe you needed a dial on your television
No,
so you
we
could change
just
the channel.
I lived in the boondocks.
Did you not put vice grips on it to maybe change the channel?
No, we just lived in a place where that stuff wasn't available.
Did you have Saturday morning cartoons at least?
No.
You grew up without Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s? This explains everything.
Yep. I grew up without a McDonald's and a Burger King and a Pizza Hut and a Wendy's. These places were hours away from me.
So Pizza Hut was hours away from us. There was a McDonald's and there was a Wendy's and there was a Burger King, but it wasn't like close, but we wouldn't go to it. My parents cooked every day. The only time we got fast food was if we were going on vacation driving somewhere. Maybe once a year we got Kentucky Fried Chicken once a year.
Fast food wasn't even available.
It wasn't that big of a thing back as it is now.
Yeah.
Now it's an
My wife tells me
everyday thing
about
for
the Pizza
people.
Hut where you used to get books. You read books and you got free pizza and stuff for books or
Oh
something.
yeah, the Domino's does that now for kids.
Do they?
Yeah. No, Pizza. I'm sorry. No, Pizza on the north side still does that.
Do
yeah.
they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Pizza still
And they
does
said that the Pizza Huts used to be like sit in restaurants and they used to have buffets and things like that.
Chandelier,
I miss that
the
whole
lights.
era.
Yeah.
Like that whole era.
And they'd come out with the pan so hot it was like the surface of the sun, and put it on the table, but yet nobody burnt their fingertips off because I guess you didn't need warning labels back then.
That's funny. But yeah, I just rode my bike and did.
We had metal slides that would burn your skin off your body, and we survived.
You survived.
We survived.
Well, Richie, that's all I got to.
That's it?
That's it. That's what I got.
Did you have streetlights in Maine?
Just in one little section.
So how did you know when to go home?
When it got dark. When it got dark.
We had streetlights. Just like we knew it. It was amazing. Just for a second, think about how amazing childhood was, that we didn't have watches really on us or phones to know the time, but we always knew when to go home and whatnot.
Our parents didn't worry about if we were dead somewhere. 'cause
No,
we'd be gone for all day.
And the news, and the funniest thing is, the news would have to remind people, it's 10 a.m. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your child is? How crazy is that they used to have commercials on TV that would say that to remind parents that
Those are different federal things that they do to, to just mitigate stuff that was happening.
it's like, yeah, it's time to call your child inside. It's 10 o'clock at night. Well,
That's what happened to me. I used to be out until it got dark. We used to go fishing. We'd be on the water. We'd be, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I probably freak out if it was my kids.
Yeah, we should go on an abandoned train line and write graffiti. Anywho, so that's all you got? Anything? What's coming up this week?
Oh, Damn Days.
Damn Days is starting on
Wednesday.
So
tomorrow.
it's
tomorrow
it's starting, so you can check it out. This won't be coming out until the end of the week, so make sure you head over and see Damn Days.
Yep.
We'll talk about it next week. We'll talk about Damn Days.
Mm-hmm.
And whatnot. And what else is coming up
on the weekends? Listen, because this will come out before Damn Days is over with. On the weekends, they'll have I think they have $25 bracelets for rides out there. A lot of their rides out there are kind of younger kids' rides. They're not really for teens. So if you have, I always say it's that sweet spot between like 5 and 10, maybe even 12. That's kind of the age that would be appropriate for these rides. But, there's a lot of really good rides out there. There's never really too many lines. They usually have some food out there. The locals do like a fish fry, really good stuff. And also, I think on Saturday, they're going to have a big fireworks show at the end of it. And they have some live music. So check out Damn Days on Facebook and stuff. You can see their lineup. And I can probably pop it up here or put a link in the top. But pretty cool thing. It's the start of the festival season. Really cool Pickaway County Festival. So right in Williamsport.
Sweet. And I want to give a shout out to actress Caitlin Stitch Boyd, who's sitting in the studio watching us shoot this podcast right now.
Yep.
She's just waving at us over there. But she's sitting here checking us out, laughing over there, making fun of us as we're recording. That's all you got?
That's what I got.
All right. Well,
where can you see us? Where can you hear us?
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple TV, Amazon Music, YouTube, and Roundtown Radio.
With Flounder. Mr. Flounder.
So this was episode 16. Tune in next week, and who knows, we might have somebody over there. But don't forget about the competition. $50 gift card. Help us nickname our resident, whatever you want to call them. What do you want?
Yep.
Our resident sidekick, our own Larry Bud Melman. Help us name Colin Hedges to win a $50 Visa gift card. All right, everybody. It's great talking to you. Have a great week.
All right. See ya.